San Diegans stuck in Israel right now. Their efforts to try and get back to the United States. Details coming up.
The search for an Ocean Beach woman who went missing in a remote area in Arizona.
Well, after their national championship run, the Aztecs will look to build off their historic season.
We are live from Las Vegas with reports from the Mountain West Media Days coming up in just minutes.
San Diego's most iconic moments captured by Tom Vollenweider, his favorites from 50 years.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
The San Marcos family is stuck in Israel right now, unable to leave because of the war with Hamas. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Patricia Kolb and her husband were on vacation in Israel with a group of friends when Hamas launched its deadly attack. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes talked to Patricia just this morning. Kirsten?
That's right. Patricia and her husband were traveling with friends in Israel for their 10th trip to the country when she woke up to the sound of air raid sirens going off Saturday morning. Now, Patty says they've spent time in a bomb shelter and they're sheltering in place right now just outside of Tel Aviv. But Patty also says after being in Israel at this very moment, her love for Israel is even stronger and there is nowhere else she'd rather be. But she knows it's time to come back home.
We had Shabbat dinner with friends on Friday night, and Saturday morning, literally, we were woken up to the sirens. And we're like, we didn't even really know. I mean, it was like surreal. Like, we didn't even know what they were.
Patricia Kolb lives in San Marcos. She's in Israel, traveling with a group of 4 other Americans right now, trying to get back to the United States.
Restaurants are closed for 2 reasons. 1, they can't be open if they don't have a bomb shelter. And 2, there's no workers because they've all been called up to serve in the military.
This after Hamas's deadly attack on Israel late last week started what Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls a long and difficult war.
We've been told it's not safe to be on the streets. We've been told it's not safe to go to Jerusalem.
Patricia says since the attack started, they've spent most of their days inside their Airbnb and looking for a way out.
What's the U.S. government doing? We have hundreds of friends that have emailed and texted and visited their congressmen on our behalf, and we have gotten no help.
And because Patricia is a double amputee,
it's a little bit more challenging. I mean, that's just the reality. But all we have gotten from the U.S. government is to fill out another form.
Patricia says they could afford to buy last-minute plane tickets when they became available, but
there are thousands of Americans here who don't have that option. Please, please, U.S. government, help your citizens.
Moments after I finished talking with Patricia, Congressman Darrell Issa actually sent out a statement saying any constituent or family requiring assistance in Israel should contact his office. The White House National Security Council also announced this afternoon the U.S. State Department will be chartering flights for Americans starting on Friday. Patricia says they have flights booked for Saturday night and they should be back here in San Diego early next week.
Can't even imagine. I mean, her 10th visit there.
Yes.
She probably felt a big sense of security traveling there. How are they doing?
Okay, so if you saw Patricia there in the interview, she is so vibrant and so full of life. She says she, her family, her friends, they all feel very safe where they are. She says she's never felt unsafe in Israel, despite actually being inside of a bomb shelter this trip or hearing those air raid sirens going off. What sticks out to me the most is that she says there is nowhere else in the world that she would rather be than in a country that she loves so much. But she says, again, she doesn't want to be in the way for any reason, so she is ready to come home.
Hopefully safely and soon. It sounds like the balls started rolling there.
Absolutely.
Kirsten, thanks.
The search for a woman from Ocean Beach continues tonight after detectives found her abandoned car in a remote area in Arizona. 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago near Flagstaff.
CBS 8's Abby Black is live in Ocean Beach with the latest on the investigation. Abby.
Carlo and Marcella, Chelsea Grimm moved from the East Coast to Ocean Beach in 2020, and just a few weeks ago she was headed back home for a wedding. But days before she disappeared, she had contact with an Arizona police officer. I made an open records request for that body camera video, and tonight we can see that video and hear a conversation that she had with one of the last people she talked to before she disappeared.
Hello.
This video taken from a Williams, Arizona police officer's body cam shows one of the last contacts made with an Ocean Beach woman who went missing near Flagstaff.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional.
The officer says that he was responding to a call about suspicious activity at the Williams Cemetery, where he found 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm inside her Ford Escape with her pet bearded dragon named Rosie. She told him that she was emotional after taking pictures of veterans' graves.
Appreciate your compassion.
You got it. So yeah, just hang out here however long you want.
A week later, Coconino County Sheriff's deputies were called to a remote dirt road west of Flagstaff near Ash Fork, Arizona, and found Grimm's abandoned SUV in the middle of the road that's often used by hunters and woodcutters. Her car was locked, her clothes were inside, and 2 tires were flat.
Do you think, in fact, of when I say is she in danger, do you think that there's somebody else involved, that there's some type of foul play?
It's certainly a possibility. We focus on both the person is potentially lost or that there's foul play.
Sheriff Jim Driscoll says that Grimm's family reported her missing on October 4th after she left San Diego for a wedding in Connecticut and said that she was stopping to camp in Arizona.
This is very unlike her. Chelsea over communicates.
The sheriff says that they traced Grimm's steps back to September 27th when she met with a friend in Phoenix. The following day she canceled a lunch, but that day she was reported to be disoriented when she tried to book a motel in Seligman, which is near Williams.
She was trying to exchange euros.
The sheriff also says that on the 28th, she spoke to a Williams neighbor in their driveway. That was the same night that Williams police made contact with her. Driscoll says that her phone and credit card activity also stopped. 2 days later, a woodcutter told detectives that he stopped to talk to Grimm where her car was found.
She didn't need any help, and she was out taking photographs.
The sheriff says that they have hundreds of search team members in the air and on the ground looking for Grimm. Her family's pleading she's found safe.
It's agonizing and heart-wrenching.
The body camera video is about 9 minutes long now. In that video, the officer says that he suspects that he smells marijuana. She admitted that she did smoke it hours before, but police say that patrol officer told them that he didn't feel that she was disoriented and that she was safe to drive. Her registration was also about to expire, and he warned her to get that updated. Now, we also want to mention that the sheriff says that they have ruled out any ex-boyfriends. Marcella?
Abby, so that sheriff's deputy that came into contact with her, you just mentioned, didn't say that she appeared disoriented, but we did hear the sheriff say that other people reported her being confused. Do you know anything about her mental health at that time? Did her family sharing?
I asked the sheriff about that, and he says that the family told them that she had struggled sometimes, but they did not feel that was anything definitive or worrisome at the time. But the sheriff says the contact that she had with some of the people leading up to her disappearance, she may have been going through an episode. But Marcella, or anyone listening and watching right now, if you have any information about Chelsea Grimm or her disappearance, call the Coconino County Sheriff's Department. That number is 1-800-388-7888. Marcella?
There's such a big search effort going on. I hope she's found soon. Thanks so much, Abby. Now a closer look at the Port of San Diego's censure of Port Commissioner Sandy Naranjo just 2 days ago. CBS 8 obtained a redacted copy of the port's investigation. It details accusations that Naranjo retaliated against port staff after they asked her about an alleged pay-to-play scheme involving her husband's company and the port's Bayfront project. While the investigation cleared Naranjo of any wrongdoing, it was her retaliation that forced commissioners to publicly reprimand her on Tuesday. Naranjo says she was the one who was retaliated against after blowing the whistle on port spending and a possible conflict of interest with the port's top attorney. You can visit our website, cbs8.com, for more on the investigation and Naranjo's claims.
Tonight we have cell phone video of former NFL player Sergio Brown fighting with Mexican officers on an airplane in Mexico City. A lakeside woman shot the video on her way back from a vacation in Cancun. As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, Brown screams out that he's being kidnapped during his extradition back to the United States on charges of murdering his 73-year-old mother.
They're kidnapping me again. I'm from Chicago.
The video was recorded Sunday on the tarmac in Mexico City on board a flight headed to Tijuana.
I should not be going to Tijuana.
Two Mexican immigration officers are fighting with former NFL defensive back Sergio Brown.
Let me go. This is kidnapping!
Lakeside resident Michelle Williams recorded the video. She was flying back from Cancun with family and says Brown was not handcuffed.
It was crazy just to hear him start yelling that he was being kidnapped, that these men were kidnapping him. And I'm just thinking, like, what is going on?
They're kidnapping me. They're kidnapping me.
We know now Brown was being extradited back to the United States on charges of murdering his 73-year-old mother, Myrtle Brown. Police say her body was found on September 16th in a creek bed near the home she shared with her son in the Chicago suburb of Maywood. The 35-year-old former football player had been missing for the past month.
Fake news.
And posted video on his Instagram account that his alleged involvement in his mother's murder was fake news. Then last week, TMZ Sports posted video of Brown dancing and partying in Tulum, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
During the scuffle on the airplane, a doctor tries to calm down Brown.
You want a glass of water?
And offers him a glass of water.
No glass.
Glass of water.
No glass.
Okay, so that is my brother. And my brother is retired from the San Diego Sheriff's Department, and he is a hostage negotiator. It's not a glass.
You just said glass.
She's like, no, not glass. He's like, but you said glass. No glass. So yes, that's my hostage negotiation brother.
Williams said it took an hour and a half for the officers to get Brown back off the plane. He was eventually brought to Tijuana, and on Tuesday, he was arrested by officers as he crossed the border at San Isidro.
Why you grab me like that?
David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Brown is in the downtown jail being held without bail. He has waived his right to an extradition hearing. Officers have 30 days to pick him up and transport him back to Illinois to face murder charges. As college hoops get underway, teams from the Mountain West and West Coast conferences are doing something we've never seen them do before.
Jake Gariani and Marcus Greaves from our CBS 8 sports team are live in Vegas to explain. Hey guys.
Hi, you two. Hope all is well back in beautiful San Diego. Yes, out here in Las Vegas for something very awesome, a joint media day between the West Coast Conference and the Mountain West Conference. But of course, we got to start with the team that went to the national championship last year. But the cool thing is, Marcus, yeah, we got to catch up with the players and the coaches, which we'll touch more on. But this year was exciting because we got to catch up with the commissioner of the Mountain West, Gloria Nevarez. And this was a hot topic because if you remember, just a little while ago, things got quite heated between the Aztecs and the conference.
Yeah, they got a little awkward. At one point, the Aztecs elected to leave the conference. Then they went back and came back to the Mountain West. It was a little shaky for a little bit, but we did have a chance to catch up with her, and she cleared all the air. And, of course, it's all good between the two.
What is that relationship like with San Diego State, given everything that went on, and how is the health of that and where you guys feel you're at?
Really good, and you know they've been very transparent and communicative about their aspirations. When I took the job, we had those conversations. They were very forthright about it, and you know, at the end of the day, it's professional, and they are with us 100%. We communicate regularly.
And is there any chance of maybe expansion in the Mountain West for teams like Oregon State or teams like Washington State?
Well, certainly. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we are positioned and ready to take advantage of opportunities and anything that makes us stronger. So we're really open to it all, but you know, in this environment, there's a lot outside of our control. So what we are focusing on who we are, what we can do to be ready, and you know, if there's opportunity, we hope to capitalize.
So it's all roses on the surface, at least. I don't know how true that is. You look back at some of that, and it was not pretty. But hey, apparently all is well that ends well. So we'll see how that relationship is moving forward. Somebody that had nothing to do with all of this was, of course, head coach Brian Dutcher, who's just always thinking basketball, Mark.
Man, and that's the thing. And when we talked to him today, I love this about him is that it's defense, man. You could talk about offense, you could talk about plays being drawn up, and he will give you a little bit of excitement. But when you start talking about defense, that's when he really shows who he is. We had a chance to catch up with him.
It's our culture, and like when we recruit you, we don't get you in and then say, oh, by the way, you have to play defense. We tell everybody we recruit, if you don't want to play defense, don't come to this program. And so then we basically have them over a barrel. They've already agreed to it. So we get them in there, we work hard at it, we spend an exorbitant amount of time on the defensive piece of the game, and then we free flow on offense. We have structure, but we have freedom within that structure.
So did you hear that when he was describing the defense, how long the answer was? And then when we talked about the offense, we got some structure, and, you know, they'll score some points, but what's most important is the defense. I just love the fact that that's the Aztecs leader, and that's the mentality they have, and I'm excited to have another season with him, man.
Yeah, his voice kind of shot up. He got all excited when he got to talk about defense, and rightfully so. That's what led them to a national championship game, is that defense. And coming up in sports, Marcella and Carlo, we're going to hear from the players, so be sure to stick around from that when we come back live in Las Vegas.
Look forward to that. Thanks, guys. They're having fun.
Getting a lot of info, too.
Still had a big shakeup on Capitol Hill tonight in the battle to become the next Speaker of the House.
Plus, a first-of-its-kind hub for an eco-friendly future. And it's right here in California.
We had a lot of sunshine this, well, was it Thursday now? Friday Eve? I'm just so used to saying Friday Eve. Yeah, we are talking about some sunshine in the forecast, but now we got cloud cover rolling in, a chance for some drizzle. All those details ahead.
And up next, better luck next time, where one lucky Powerball winner walked away with the second largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history.